Yeah, the Shavuot marks the giving of the Torah at Sinai. It's the moment when all of the people of Israel receive this guide for living, this ethical, moral code with 613 commandments there to follow. Yet in the Talmud, Rabbi Yochanan makes a very interesting statement. He says that even if the Torah had not been given, we would nonetheless have learned modesty from the cat, that stealing is objectionable from the ant, forbidden relations from the dove, and proper relationships from the rooster, which first appeases the hen and then mates with it. That's his statement. So let's understand quickly what that means, and then we'll kind of look at the broader implications of what this statement might be telling us. So modesty from the cat, Rashi says that this is because cats cover their excrement when they go to the bathroom. This is kind of seen as a modest behavior. Stealing is objectionable from the ant because ants don't steal food from other ants. If they drop something, usually another ant won't come pick it up. That forbidden relations from the dove because doves are loyal to their partners, also according to Rashi. And the rooster appeases its partner before mating, and this is seen as kind of good relations with other people. The Hebrew is derek eretz, kind of how we treat other people. So these are two positives that we learn from what these animals do. So modesty and proper relations. And two negatives from what they don't do, forbidden relations and stealing. And Rabbi Yochanan saying that from these animals we can, even if we didn't have the Torah giving us those commandments, we could infer them from looking at how these other animals behave. So what exactly is Rabbi Yochanan saying about the nature of Torah here? It seems to some extent that he's suggesting that there's a natural ethics, meaning that there are certain laws that are inherent in nature and are universal. So you don't need a specific law code to teach them. Rather, they're clear from the world around us. We can infer them through reasoning and through observation. But Rabbi Yochanan doesn't say that there are laws inherent in human nature that can be reached by reason, or he doesn't say that directly. And it's interesting, he doesn't talk about something like murder here, which is, I think, a classic example of something that's just like kind of logically obvious to most people that killing another person is bad. Rather, he says that one can look at the natural world and learn from it. And this fits the Midrash that talks about how when God created the world, God consulted the Torah first. So the Torah then, in a sense, is the blueprint for which the natural world functions. And therefore, by looking at the natural world, we can learn the laws that govern some human behavior by looking at how animal behavior works, because it's the same DNA in a sense. The Torah that we get is also built into the world. But is Rabbi Yochanan saying that we don't need Torah at all? That we could just look at the world around us and learn the laws from that? That really there's a universal ethics and anyone could figure it out just through reasoning and observation? I don't think so. And the biggest reason, to me at least, is that it's a numbers game. Rabbi Yochanan mentions 4 things, but there's 613 commandments in the Torah. So then, in a sense, maybe the natural laws and ethics that he's referring to here are the minimum. That there's some things that, yes, are built into the world that we can see, but the Torah adds this much larger framework that isn't intuitive. There's many commandments in the Torah that aren't intuitive, and some that aren't even logical, or we can't understand what the logic is. So charity, visiting the sick, Shabbat, those aren't necessarily intuitive. Once we do them, they make sense, but they don't, you can't really see that in the world around. I don't know of any animal that rests one day every week. Shabbat isn't a natural law. And something like not wearing a mixture of wool and linen really has no, and the rabbis talk about this a lot, has no real logical basis. We can't really understand why that law exists. So we can't learn these from the natural world. What Rabbi Yochanan teaches us is that, yes, there's a basic morality built into the structure of nature. And that's awesome. That the world follows kind of the same blueprint we're following in the Torah. And even if we didn't have the Torah, we would know these basic things. But the Torah adds this much larger moral code beyond this. Shavuot, the time of the giving of the Torah, is a yearly reminder that being a human in general, and a Jew in particular, places on us a responsibility to live a moral life beyond the minimum. To really follow all of those commandments as much as possible in a way that builds a very ethical, just world. As Hillel said when asked to teach the Torah to someone standing on one foot, what is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor. That is the entire Torah. The rest is just commentary. Now go and study. Shavuot is a reminder to continue learning, to go and study that commentary, to learn how to live the ideal moral life, how to really treat one another kindly and justly. Chag Sameach.